If you're a business owner or content creator, you might have thought to yourself, how do I record my screen? Well, don't worry, I've got you. I can show you exactly how to record your screen inside of Canva. And it doesn't have to be the Canva screen. It can also be a separate window or something else like that. It doesn't have to be the Canva program inside it itself. I've got Luminar Neo open up on my screen over here. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually record that screen as well. But why would you want to record yourself or your screen directly into Canva? Well, you can add in things there like lower thirds. You could add in any kind of like on-screen animation. You can split the clips up and edit the video inside of Canva. And I'm going to show you how to do all of that in today's tutorial. So let's dive in and take a look. I'm just inside a video blank file inside of Canva. If you don't see these options, you can come down and click on the duration option, and that's going to then show you the duration option. You can play about and change all these different view types. And if you need to zoom into the bottom here, you can also zoom in on the page, so you can zoom in up to 500%. That's just a quick navigation on there. But to get to actually recording yourself, you're going to come down to the uploads section, okay? And then in the upload section, you're going to come to the record yourself option. When you click on the record yourself option, that's then going to open up and give you some other options. Now, it looks a little bit blank here first. What we're going to do is we're going to come up to the cog up here into the settings option here. We can see right now this is just got my camera on there. I could change the camera on here to different cameras. I could use my cam link if I wanted to, which is the camera that I'm actually recording on here. So I'm going to click away from that and click something different. We could choose my FaceTime camera, which is just on my Mac, or I can actually choose to select my mobile, which I've got just underneath the camera here. So we've got that, that's me set up inside of their recording. And you can then choose if you wanted to flip this around, which is really good. So if I wanted to be facing into there, but you can change all of this afterwards as well, once we've actually changed or done the recording. Next, you're going to want to come over and choose camera and screen. So you can just choose camera if you want to, but we're going to show you today how to use camera and screen. So it's going to be recording my face. It can be recording something else. If you wanted to record something else and a screen, then you could do that. But we're just recording my face today. And when we export the file or come to Canva later on, we'll show you exactly how to do that. We're not recording directly into Canva right now. We will have to press the record option down here, but we can see that as I speak on my screen, because I'm using some separate recording software to record my screen, showing you how to record screens inside of Canva, if that makes sense. Okay, so we can come over, we can choose a different Chrome tab. For some reason right now, that's not working for me, but you can choose to open up a different tab if you wanted to. So you can have a second tab here, and then you can see, you know, you've got the new tab. So you could click and select on that. For some reason, that's not working for me inside of Canva, but for you, it should work. Test that out if that's the option that you want to do. We can also choose to record a window. So you can see here, I've got a different window. I've got my second Mac over here, ready to record on there. Or I can actually record this window, which we're in right now, or you can choose to record your entire screen. I prefer to go for the entire screen, so that's actually something that it records the entire screen, and then you can crop in later on if you wanted to do that. Okay, so we're going to click on entire screen, and if I click share now, you can see this gives like it's because it's recording the screen. So that's me off into the distance in infinity. And if I actually move that away, you can see that that actually records a different thing. So it just records the entire screen on there. When you do that, we're going to then come over to Canva. Okay, so this is how I could record a Canva tutorial, is that I could actually just come in, I could click record. Okay, so ignore all of the other little records, little records going off into the distance. If you click on the record option down the bottom here, okay, it's going to give you a countdown, and then it's going to start recording this entire screen. So I could come over, I could say, right, well, let's give you a tutorial on how to look at these different templates and how to have a look at a different option in here. We want to show you how to edit text inside of Canva. This is all kind of like going to start, it's going to be recording this actual screen. You then, once you've finished recording your screen, you then come back to this, click on done, and then now you're done, you'll see in the top left hand corner it says exit studio. That will exit without saving. If you click save and exit, that's then going to start recording. Show me on there. Okay, so that's going to then add those two files, both my face, or your face in your case, and the screen itself inside of Canva. Okay, so now we can see it's actually recorded the screen. So I can choose to come in, I can choose to, or you can choose to crop that if you wanted to. Okay, so you can come over and move that around. You could then change the background color if you wanted a different background color. And we've got me down in the corner here. You can see where it's recorded your face. You'll see that it's actually down there. You can actually detach this video from the frame. So this will actually record yourself separately, so you can either put yourself in a circle if you're not quite centered for some reason, say it's come up and it's like this, you can then just, you can just double click and then recenter yourself or adjust yourself. Okay, you can just double click and you can also make yourself bigger in there if you wanted to, just by dragging on the corners, which is all really helpful. Sorry, keeps auto playing in the background there. Okay, so that's the actual recording. And then once you've got this recording in here, you can then come in and you could choose to add in there. Let's say you wanted a lower third. Okay, we're going to come in, we're going to click in the elements in options here. We're going to come down to shapes. Let's say we wanted to create just a lower third that just looked like this. You could then do that. Okay, and I'm going to change this to a little bit of a nicer colour than that. Okay, let's go with this bright pink. Okay, inside of there you can then add in your text. Okay, so you could add in text in there. I'm going to say Darren. Okay, I'm going to put that in there. You can then still come on and you can group those items. You could then choose to animate those items. So you can see this is just looks really kind of like basic right now, but you can choose to pan that item in there. And if you want to change the element timing on that, you can just come, you have to ungroup for some reason to show element timing. You can then say, well, actually, I want this to come on the screen and I only want it to be on for the first 2 seconds. Okay, and the same for the shape as well. Don't forget to change the shape. Okay, so now when you've got your recording, I'm just going to click play and then it's going to start. Okay, so that's not coming in and fading in. Okay, so we're going to click on those and we're just going to click pan. Okay, we just want that on enter. You could do both, so and then reverse the animation on exit. Okay, so we're going to click on that. That's now applied that animation to your lower third inside of the screen recording that you've done inside of Canva. Okay, so you're going to click play. And then it's going to start recording this entire screen. So you can see you can add anything on there. You can add any elements to your screen recording that you wanted on there. Let's say I was talking about a date and you wanted to put that on there. You could then change that. You can just come down, change the element timing to be somewhere different. So let's say it was this particular part of the video that I wanted to talk about that. You can see that would then pop on for that amount of time there and then pop off. That could be something as simple as a subscribe option. So if you're finding this useful, please do consider subscribing. But we're going to click on there and we're going to click on animated. Okay, let's click on see all. I love this little parrot. Okay, we've got a little parrot there. Okay, and we can see that that actually comes on for all of the video, but let's say we only wanted it to be on part of the video because we've got our show element timing. It's just going to come on for this particular part of the video. Okay, and you can click and see all of that. If you don't see the timing or you want to hide the timing, again, you can do that on there, and you've got all of your normal Canva features. So if I click play on here, let's give you a tutorial on how to, you can see that that parrot comes on and animates exactly at that point and then would disappear. That's great. I've recorded my screen there inside of Canva using or recording a Canva screen. But what about if you wanted to record something different? Well, that's exactly what you can do. You can then come in, you can add a page and then choose to record something different. And I do recommend that if you're doing the screen recording is to try and split it up into small chunks to make sure that the screen recording has worked and to make sure that the file's there and that your audio is okay. Always start with a test option first and then do small chunks. So have your kind of like bullet points. I do exactly the same when I'm recording my tutorials. Have your bullet points that are things that you want to talk about, and then make sure that you cover off those bullet points one at a time, and then save and exit after each time. You don't have to record everything all in one go. Now we've got we've done a recording of how to do something in Canva, and now I want to do a recording of something on my other screen. Okay, so one thing you can't do is just switch screens inside of there once you've got a recording going. So if I click on record yourself again on here, you can see I've come up here, can flip that around again. It just puts it in a frame. You saw we could extract that. Okay, now if I wanted to record my other screen, I'm going to come to camera and screen. You can see I can record my entire screen, and I'm going to record this other screen that I've got here, which has got Luminar Neo, which is a photo editing software that I use. Okay, I'm going to click share. Okay, now you can see I've got my entire screen on there, and this is just a demo, so you can see what I've got there first. Okay, so what I could do is I could change the screen options on there. Okay, so I could click stop sharing on there. Okay, I'm going to come over to the window. So if you wanted to, you could just choose the window that you're wanting to share. So no matter where I put that window, it's going to then record it. So I could then bring this over onto my other screen. You can't see that I've moved that, but I've actually moved that screen around onto other things. It's just going to record my actual screen here. Okay, so now I'm happy with the screen that it's recording. Okay, it's got nothing around the edges. You can then click record. You can see it's got 2 of 2 because we're on page 2 of 2. You could choose to put this on page 1 if you wanted, but I'm going to put it on page 2. So that's how you can like add in recordings inside of things afterwards as well. So if you wanted to, you could like put in multiple pages in there, and you can switch and change which page you're adding that recording to. Okay, so I've not hit record just yet. Okay, so now I'm going to hit record on there. Okay, it's going to give you that countdown so you can get ready. And again, you can trim your recordings inside of Canva easy enough. So now I'm going to record, and I can see over on here, even though it's over on this side, I can actually see it on the screen here inside of Canva. Okay, let me just grab this and show you what I mean. Okay, so even though I'm over here, okay, I can actually see this over here. Okay, so even though my mouse is over there, I can actually see it on the screen in front of me. Hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm just hoping all of this works and it makes sense to you guys as well once I've done that. So I could record a tutorial. Okay, I could come in, I can add all sorts of presets on here. Oh, I love that. That's Lake Bled. If anybody's ever been to Lake Bled. Okay, you've got all sorts of tutorials. Again, once you're finished with that, I've recorded a minute now. Okay, so I can click done. Okay, I'm going to click save and exit. Okay, and we can see that what that has done is actually added that to page 2 for the full length of the clip. Okay, if you didn't want the full length of the clip, you could come over. Let's say you wanted to trim off the beginning where you were bumbling your words or something, and then you can just kind of like trim that up, click done, and it would automatically change the area or the clip that you are using in there. You can also come down and choose to split the clip. So say you wanted to split this clip into multiple options or multiple areas, you can come down and then you can just press S on the keyboard, and then you can add in, say, like transitions or anything else like that. You can add in those into your video editing inside of Canva. There's so much that you can do with this screen recording option inside of Canva. I think it's an amazing option for tutorials and recording tutorials, not just Canva tutorials, but if you've got anything else that you want to show on your screen or anything else like that, you can just show those up on there.